Constructivism by Jean Piaget. What is constructivism? Constructivism is a learning theory that suggests people construct their own knowledge through their experience and interaction with the world. It's based on the idea that people build on their existing knowledge to learn new information. Constructivism differs from traditional teaching methods where knowledge is simply imparted to students. In constructivist teaching, the teacher's role is to facilitate the learning process, and the students are encouraged to create and answer their own hypotheses. He is Jean Piaget. Jean Piaget he is the founder of constructivism. Jean, Jean Piaget is known as one of the first theorists in constructivism. So, Jean Piaget is a Jean William Fritz Piaget is his real name. He is a Swiss psychologist known for his work on child development. Piaget's theory is cognitive development and epistemological view are together called genetic epistemology. Piaget placed great importance in the education of children. Next is there are two types of theory. First is accommodation. Accommodation occurs when a learner must change previously learned information before placement of new information is possible. Accommodation it refers to many things, including a place to stay, a way to adjust to a new situation, or a way to adjust your eyes focus on something. Example example is um, example children often use accommodation in classroom when they shift their focus between their book and the whiteboard. Next is assimilation. Assimilation occurs when a learner adds new information, basically layering on it on top of the old. So assimilation it is the process of incorporating new information into existing mental schema. A example, a computer programmer learns a new programming language. It is an example of assimilation. The next one is constructivism as a learning theory. Here are the six constructivism is a learning theory. First is learning as an active process. Learning learning is an active process. Second is knowledge is constructed from from the experience. Third is learning is a personal interpretation of the world. Fourth, emphasize problem solving and understanding. Fifth, use authentic task, experience, settings, and assessments. Last, content present is holistically not in separate smaller parts. The next slides is two views of constructivism. This slides is continued in our next reporter. There are eight making concept learning effective. First, we have provide a clear definition of the concept, which is define the concept, clearly define the concept in simple, understandable terms. Example, if you're in teaching, if you're teaching mammals, define it as animals that have four or hair, give birth to live young and nurse their babies with milk. Second, we have make the defining features very concrete and prominent. Make the make the defining features of the concept concrete and prominent. Use visuals, examples, and real-world connections to illustrate these features. For instance, when teaching mammals, Show pictures of different mammals with their fur or hair and explain how they gave birth and nursed their young. Third, we have give a variety of positive instances. So, um, give multiple examples of the concept to help learners understand its characteristics. Show pictures of various mammals like cats, dogs, dolphins, and bats to demonstrate the diversity within the category. Also, we have give negative instances. Present examples that are not the concept to help learners distinguish it from other related concepts. Show pictures of birds, fish, and reptiles alongside mammals to emphasize the differences. Also, we have cite the best example or a prototype. Choose a clear typical example that represents the concept well, like a dog for mammals. This helps learners grasp the core features of the concept. Also, we have provide opportunity for learners to identify positive and negative instances. Give learners opportunities to identify positive and negative instances of the concept. This could involve sorting pictures, answering questions, or creating their own examples. Also, we have ask learners to think of their own example of the concept. Encourage independent thinking. Ask learners to think of their own examples of the concept. This helps them internalize the concept and apply it to new situations. Also, the last, point out how concepts can be related to each other. Show how concepts relate to each other. For example, explain how mammals are a subset of animals and how they share characteristics with other animals group. Also, we have the schemas and the scripts. A schema is an organized body of knowledge about something. Schema Schemas help us make sense of the world. They provide structure and allow us to process information efficiently. We use them to fill in gaps, make predictions, and understand new situations. A script is a schema that includes a series of predictable events about a specific activity. Scripts are specific to situations. They help us navigate familiar events by providing a framework for what to expect and how to act. Also, applying constructivism and facilitating and learning. First, aim to make learners understand a few case ideas in a depth manner rather than taking up so many topics so superficially. Example, instead of covering all the different types of rocks in one lesson, focus on understanding the formation of sedimentary rocks in depth. You could have students create their own sedimentary rock models using different materials. Second, give a varied examples. For example, when teaching about fractions, use examples like pizza, slice, a pie chart, and a group of people to help learners visualize different representations of the same concept. Also, provide opportunities for experimentation. For example, instead instead of just explaining the concept of buoyancy, let students experiment with different objects in water to see which float and which sink. This allows them to discover the principles themselves. Also, we have provide lots of opportunities for quality interaction. Example, instead of lecturing, use group discussions, debates, and peer teaching to encourage active participation and collaborative learning. For example, students could debate the pros and cons of different energy sources. Also, we have lots of hands-on activities. For example, instead of reading about the solar system, have students build models of planets using different materials. This kinesthetic learning helps them to understand scales and relationships. Also, relate your topic to real life situation. For example, when teaching about photosynthesis, connect it to the importance of plants in producing oxygen and food. Discuss how this process relates to our own survival. We have relate your oh, and lastly, do not depend on the explanation method all the time. For example, instead of simply explaining the water cycle, use multimedia resources like videos and simulation to help learners visualize the process. This can also include interactive activities where students can manipulate different parts of the cycle. So, constructivism emphasizes that learning is an active process where individuals build their own understanding through experience, reflection, and interaction with the world. And I thank you.